Hello, this is Troy from the King Web Agency, and this video is designed to show you some of the basics about how to use Divi Builder. The goal of the video is not to teach you everything there is to know about Divi, but just how to get in, get to some pages, and make some textural or image changes. So let's go ahead and dive in. When you first log into WordPress, you'll be greeted with the standard dashboard. And on the left-hand side is your admin menu. First place we're going to go to is the Pages link. And this page shows you a list of all the pages that are on the website. Now this site I use just for training, so it has one page, and we'll just click the link and we'll go in here. Now this is the Divi Builder. It's a drag and drop visual interface, and there's a couple different modes. We'll look at each one briefly. Initially, when it loads, you'll see the wireframe mode. And this is a good way to just understand how Divi works. Let's look at the front end of the site. And this is the page that we just saw in wireframe mode, but this is what the page looks like on the front end. Okay, there's a lot. It's a long page. This is a standard layout I downloaded and I uploaded it into the site just so we could take a look at it. So first things first, the purple and blue sections are called sections. The purple one is usually the top one. It's a full width section. It's usually used for the top of the page. And then we have a standard section. And then within the standard section we have a green row. And you can have multiple rows per section. And then within the rows you have columns. And you can have 2 columns, 3 columns, or you can have a wide variety of column configurations. And then within each column you have these modules, which are these gray boxes. And there are quite a few modules to choose from. You have accordion, blog, gallery, image, which is what you'll probably be using the most, and text, which is like 90% of the modules you'll run into on your site are the text module. So what's neat is that you can grab these handles here and you can drag and drop. You can move things around. There we go. And you can have all sorts of unique configurations using this wireframe mode. Now let's look at some of the options here. Okay, first we have this handle, which you can use to grab and move things around. Then we have the settings gear, and this brings you into more settings. Now the sections have their own settings, rows have their own settings, and modules have their own settings. So let's look at, for example, a text module. I'm just going to add a text module here. We'll type in text. It creates the module. Here's the module panel, and here's where you'd put your text. So lorem ipsum, there's our standard Latin text. So that's where the text goes, and then if you go, so there's 3 tabs here. There's content for our text. If you want this to link somewhere as a whole, like the whole body of text links somewhere, or if you want to assign a background color or an image, that's available to you as well. And then under design, you probably won't need to go into design, but this is where you can change the font orientation, the font size, font color, pretty much anything relating to the design of this particular module. Heading text, sizing, spacing. Again, you won't need to go into here, but I just want you to know it is there, it is present if you want to explore. So this is where you put your text, and then these buttons at the bottom, we have the red button for not saving any changes. We've got undo, redo, and then green for save. So this will save the module, but nothing is saved until you hit the blue update button over here. So if I were to leave this page right now, then my module addition would be lost. It's not saved until I hit this blue button here. The good thing is if you find that you've made a mistake or you don't know how to undo it, you can just reload the page and your changes will be lost, but then you can start over and try again. And then when you've got it, remember to hit the blue update button on the right hand side. So now that we have an understanding of how this works, let's go ahead and look at the visual builder mode, because this is where things get kind of cool. So now it's going to load the front end of the site, but in the back end. So now you can see the front end just like here, but we're in the back end. And as you mouse over things, you'll see these color bars pop up. So here's our purple section. Here's our standard section. Here's our row. Here's our module. Here's our module. Here's another row, 3 columns. Here's the module. So you can, here's our text module. So you could change the text and see it as it appears on the page, which is pretty cool stuff. Which means that you can also, just like in the back in wireframe mode, you can drag and drop if you need to move things around. Or you can also, so let's keep looking at some of these buttons here. So we've got the settings, we've got copy, this is duplicate. If I want to duplicate, for example, this module, duplicate it, boom, there it is. Save to library, if you want to save this to the library for use on another page, you can do that, but you probably won't be doing that. And if you want to delete, hit the trash can, and it deletes. So those are some of the basic things. I'm going to delete this module right there. So let's say I want to change this text here. Okay, here's the gear icon. Now this is a blurb because it has an icon and text. So here's our title right there. And then here's our text, image and icon. Now you can choose between an image or an icon. In this case, an icon is already selected. There it is, but we can change it pretty easily. And if we want this module to link somewhere, we could just put in a link right there. Under image and icon, you can also change the text color, or the icon color. You can make that red, yellow, green, whatever color we want. You can even change the orientation. But this is getting into more advanced things that you probably won't need to worry about. I just want you to be aware that there are design options here should you want to dive in and explore a little bit. And then just text options. Okay. So we're going to cancel that because I don't want to save any of those changes. So that's the basics for changing the text. Now for changing an image, let's see if we can find an image on this page. So we'll click the gear icon. Here's the image. Click on the image, and this loads up the media manager. So now let's choose that. We'll click on the picture, and then the blue button down the right-hand corner. Now it changed the picture for us. Let's say we want to change this button text. Click on the gear. There's our button text. We can change that. We can change the link to where it goes. So that's the basics of Divi in a nutshell. And the other cool thing is that you can look at it in tablet mode. You can see how your changes look if you want to look at it in tablet mode or smartphone mode. So you can see how the layout is affected that way. But more than likely, stick to the desktop mode, and then you can just click on the gear, scroll down, and add your text as needed. If you have a table on your site, let's look at tables. Sometimes to get to the admin panel, it's easier to go back to wireframe mode, because then you get your admin menu back. I'm going to open a new tab here. So if you should have a table on your site for a pricing or a schedule of some sort. You go to Table Press, find the appropriate table, and then here's where the data is stored. So it is in this table, and you can come down here and you can add a row or add a column or delete, however you need to manipulate the data. And then this is the short code for the table. And if it's already on your site, it's already in place. But I just wanted to show this. So let's say I want to put this table on this page here. Now I'm going to get rid of that, and I'll drop in my table. I'll save it. And sometimes this loads quickly because it's a third-party plugin. Divi has to process it. Sometimes it doesn't load all that quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and save it up at the top. So if you're in Visual Builder mode, your save button is at the top. Okay, so now that that's saved, we'll come to the front end. We'll refresh, and our table should appear right here. There. There's our table. Obviously, this is not styled. It's just a generic table that I threw in. The table on your site is probably already styled, so don't worry about that. But that's how you update the data. So you come to Table Press. You can come in here and change the data, and then click Save Changes. Please remember to click Save Changes, otherwise your changes will be lost, and then your table should update once you refresh the page. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope that you have a better understanding of how the Divi Builder works. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to me, info@kingwebagency.com. And thank you very much. We'll speak soon. Bye now.